Hi, students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here, the Garden City of British Columbia, Canada. I hope everyone is having an awesome weekend. I hope you're all healthy, happy, and strong. Welcome, Kanupriya, Kuldeep, Marjona. Nice to see many students already in the class today. The final live class of this week, and we are looking at IELTS Speaking Band 9, Part 3. So continuing with that focus on that high band score, talking about group work. So we just had speaking part 2 class finish 30 minutes ago, and that was the cue card focusing on meetings. So it's no surprise that speaking part 3, this is a continuation. It's about meetings and group work, and we're going to get into these questions soon. Welcome to our members. Hi, Arda. Hi, Guneet. Lots of students joining in. Wonderful to see. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there for the general IELTS. Visit us at gieltshelp.com. Both of our websites have tons and tons of help for you to get those high band scores. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. Click this red button to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, so it's well worth it. We're going to use this website today to talk to many of our students and get them to answer speaking part 3 questions while I give you strategy and feedback. You can try the course for free with this green button right there, but I definitely recommend joining the full version of our course. We are an official British Council IELTS test registration center and certified agents. So we've been in the game a long time. We're one of the first YouTubers, or probably the first YouTuber, to put IELTS videos up on the YouTube or up on our channels as well. And this is our general IELTS here with the green background. Click that big red button to join the premium package there. So that's for general IELTS students. If you have any questions, you can always just send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. I will gladly answer your inquiries, or one of my colleagues will. Academic IELTS Help, download the app, link it to your web account. General IELTS Help, download the app, link it to your web account. The apps are fantastic. They've got lots and lots of content for you. Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, or IG, GIELTS Help for general IELTS, okay, for Instagram. We have our schedules there. We've got daily vocabulary. We've got some really great videos coming out on those Instagram profiles as well, so check that out. Students, classes, so tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, there's no class, okay, so January 30th to February 1st, no class, but then back on the 2nd with speaking part 1 for everyone. That's our usual schedule. You can see our schedule on Instagram, on YouTube, community posts, as well as in a couple other locations. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to follow our live classes. Let's get into some IELTS speaking, everyone. You're probably like, when are we going to get to speak? Well, you're going to get to speak super soon here. So again, remember, this is speaking, so don't just listen, speak and repeat. Okay, speak and repeat. So when I, say a sentence, copy that sentence, copy my intonation, copy my pronunciation, speak and repeat. It's very important, okay? And I'm just going to start you off with one big tip today, big tip. Okay, when you're giving your answers, always give an answer plus an explanation plus an example. All right, so you always want to practice that. Okay. And well, maybe I'll give you another big tip. Big tip 2. Connect your answers to part 2. Okay, our part 2, I think maybe many of our viewers saw the last class, part 2 class, the cue card. That cue card was about a meeting for school or work, and work meeting about building a mall in the community. So that was what we talked about for part 2. So try to connect that for some of your part 3 answers as well, okay? And so I'm going to just start you off right away by giving you a chance to speak and give some answers. And I'm going to give you feedback and band score estimates. Our band score estimates are very accurate. So many times our students come back and they're like, yeah, that's exactly what I got in my IELTS exam. So I'll estimate your band score, and I will definitely give you some tips on how to improve your band score, okay? So we will get right into these questions talking about meetings, and I'm going to reach out to some volunteers for speaking. Now, to volunteer to answer some questions, all you need to do are, first, register a free or a paid account at aehelp.com. Okay, the website I just showed you. Log into your My Student account. Click on Student Partner Speaking. Enable your microphone and your speaker in your browser. You can't talk to me if you don't do that. Koa, I'm going to be looking for you if you're in here today, because I think there was something going on in the last class, and I'm hoping you figured that out. Cass, you're right on time. Okay. Keep the window open, so keep that page open for sure. All right. And then message me in the chat. You'll see me under the capital letter master, and then the blue envelope. I want to volunteer. Okay, just write me that and I will ping you. I'll look for different volunteers. So last class of this week, I want to see lots of volunteers, and I want to give many of you help. So we're going to get right into it. Okay, and I'll walk you through these steps again as we do this. So you go to aehelp.com. This is aehelp.com with this blue background. You create an account by clicking the red button for the premium IELTS package, or this green button for the free version. You can use this chat in the free version as well. Okay, the chat to talk to other students or talk to me in these live classes does not cost you money. Okay, once you create the account, you will have this My Student account. You see that blue button right there, that one, boom. So that's where you click. And then you're in your My Student account where you've got computer-based practice exams, you've got a full interactive course, you've got workbooks that you can download in PDF format, you've got 100 hours of lesson videos with strategies. But right now we're using this student partner speaking function. Lots and lots going on in this website to help you prepare for your exam. So click on that student partner speaking, then you get this pop-up bubble that says, you know, I accept the start speaking. You confirm you read and agreed to our fair usage policy. You're at least 18 years of age. It means you have to be responsible. If you're not 18, just make sure your parents are okay with it. All right, but you have to accept our policy. And then once you accept, you get into this page here. This is where the magic happens for the speaking. And in this page, you can see we've got lots of students in here. We got Arun, Anirban, Aksa, Nutan, Sagor, Rahul, Kelvin, Prince, Juan Pablo, Cassandra, Marjona, Muaz, Chris, Riza, Trang, Aks, Barshaks, and Virapriya. Lots and lots, probably more joining in. And then you ping me, and I think Akbar Shaks has already pinged me as like maybe he wants to volunteer already. Let's see. Yes, Akbar Shaks is ready to volunteer. So I'm going to put my headset on here. I recommend using a headset if you have one. And then I can check if you're ready. So are you ready? Ready, steady, go. And let's see. If Akbar Shaks is ready, I can start speaking with Akbar Shaks, but maybe Akbar Shaks left because I don't see him suddenly. So not sure what's going on there. Lost his connection, but you know, that happens. All right. So let's see. Anirban. Okay. Are you ready? And then once I see that you're ready, I will call you. Just wait for me to call you. Make sure your microphone is enabled. Okay. All right.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Anirban. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. How's your weekend so far?
It's been good. I've been grinding aisles mostly.
Okay, grinding IELTS. Yeah. Yeah, that comes from the idiom, right? Good. Yeah, grinding is when you're just working away, right? Sharpening metal or doing something like that. All right. Okay, so let's do speaking part 3. Did you watch the last class about speaking part 2?
Sure, I was there.
Okay, cool. Right on. So you know that we talked about a meeting, and the meeting was about building a mall in the community. So if you can, try to, refer or relate to that part 2 in your answer. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to ask you a question. Give me a nice full sentence answer. Okay.
All right.
All right. So here we go. Let's talk about going to meetings. What are the different types of meetings that people often go to?
Well, there are several types of meetings that people attend. Um, it can range from your work meetings to your school meetings or in community meetings. Just last month, I attended this meeting at my work regarding a mall that was being built in my neighborhood.
Okay. I'm catching up to you here slowly but surely. All right. Let me ask you a follow-up question as well. Which of these are the most important to be on time for?
I believe every meeting is important and should be given utmost priority because people expect you to be there, and definitely there is something important that would be discussed in the meeting, I believe. So I always try to be on time at meetings.
Okay, very good. All right. Band score, first of all, right out of the gate, I think that your band score is a solid 7. Okay. Maybe a 7.5. So it's in the 7 to 7.5 range for sure. You have good fluency. You have great lexical resource. I think those are in the band 8 category. I think your grammatical range and accuracy and your coherence score are closer to a 7. And you have to be a little bit more careful with your content, but otherwise it's quite solid. And I think that with a bit of practice you can get as high as a band, let's say 8, within a month of good practice. Do you have an idea of when you're going to sit your IELTS exam?
Well, I'm planning to sit for the IELTS in like a month or month and a half.
Yeah, and I think that's enough time. So if you have 4 to 6 weeks, I think that's enough time to get your speaking score all the way up to band 8, maybe even an 8.5, I dare say. Okay, so let me give you a bit of feedback. I'll be a bit more specific with this question. So what are the different types of meetings that people often go to? And then you said, well, there are several types of meetings that people attend. I really like that start. I like how you reflected the question right away. You paraphrased the go to with a more specific verb, which is attend. I thought that was great. And then you continued nicely. So you said it can range from your school meetings. Now, here's where I had my first kind of problem with your.
Oh yeah, I use you,
Yeah,
right? Oh my
exactly.
God,
Yeah, you caught
I
it.
just
Yeah,
realized it.
exactly. And you used it a couple of times. So you said your school meetings. You don't know me. Maybe I'm like a 70-year-old person that hasn't been to a school meeting in like 30 years, right? So it's like, what school meetings, right?
My bad.
Yeah. So you want to really just kind of, even in your everyday communication, try to eliminate using you or your when you're not actually talking about the person. So it can range from, even so, oftentimes it's a filler, it's just not needed. So it can range from school meetings to work meetings, or community meetings, just like and then here you can be a little bit more specific. So just like the meeting I spoke about in part two. Okay, so there you go. And then don't overcomplicate. Now I'll give you a bit more feedback. So often in part three you get this follow-up question, and in this case, which are the most important to be on time for? You said, I believe that every meeting is important and should be given the utmost priority. I was a little bit worried at the beginning here that you're losing the focus of the question, which is to be on time. Okay.
Mhm.
What's another way to say be on time? And this is where maybe some people who are watching can help us out here as well. I'm just looking at the chat if anybody else is. There's a very nice.
Punctual.
That's right. There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I believe that every meeting is very important and should be given the utmost priority. So people or attendees. Yeah, Vilns got it in the chat as well. I see that, Vilns, punctual. Baljeet got it as well. So attendees should be punctual. Now, when you focus on that, so it's punctual, why? Why should people be punctual to meetings?
Mm, oh, because people are expecting you there.
Yeah, so it's a problem when people aren't punctual, right? So it interrupts the meeting. It's disrespectful. It's unproductive. So think about all of those, right? Like just imagine you walk into this big office meeting 20 minutes late, and everybody's looking at you like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Right.
Right? Then you realize, okay, that was kind of disrespectful, right? So otherwise, it can be disruptive and
Got it.
disrespectful. And could even get a person fired from their job, right? And then once you have that and you have that visually, now you can immediately give an example, right? So my colleague John got fired last month for being late for meetings all the time. So visualize, of course. That's always, an important point to practice. So you're the first volunteer today, so I'm giving you lots of feedback and lots of strategy because I'm hoping that our next volunteers are going to take this important information and use it when they're giving me their answers. Okay, so let me go over these two questions with you and these answers, and then I'm going to go through both of them, and then I'll ask you each one separately, and then just repeat the corrections. Okay.
Got it.
So
Okay.
here we go. What are the different types of meetings that people often go to? Well, there are several types of meetings that people attend. It can range from school meetings to work meetings or community meetings, just like the meeting I spoke about in part two. Which of these are the most important to be on time for? I believe that every meeting is important and should be given the utmost priority, so attendees should be punctual. Otherwise, it can be disruptive and disrespectful and could even get a person fired from their job. My colleague John got fired from his job for being late for meetings all the time. Okay, let's try that. So what are the different types of meetings that people often go to?
Well, there are several types of meetings that people attend. It can range from school meetings to work meetings or community meetings, just like the meeting I spoke about in part two.
Which of these are the most important to be on time for?
I believe that every meeting is important and should be given the utmost priority, so attendees should be punctual. Otherwise, it can be disruptive and disrespectful. Just like my colleague John, he was late for this meeting and he got fired for it.
Very good. Okay, yeah, so you finished it on your own. That was perfect. You went to the example. Yeah, why not, right? You don't need more explanation. Good. That's a band 9. Okay, if you speak like that with that accuracy, that intonation, that was really nice intonation, by the way, as well, that time. And I like how you realize that it's good to be a bit melodramatic and emphasize and overemphasize. And in that speaking interview, that will help you to get a higher band score. So that was excellent, okay? Nicely done. Keep up the practice and you'll get to that higher band score on your bun, okay?
Thanks a lot.
All right, keep it up. Thank you for being the first volunteer. Have an awesome rest of your weekend.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, bye. Okay, so that was Anirban, and lots of great tips there from Anirban's response, because that's often kind of the level that many students come in at, is that band 6.5, 7, maybe 7.5, but of course students want that 8, want that 9, and many of you can get it with the right type of practice and the right type of strategy, okay? All right, so stay focused, students. I see a little bit of fun going on there, but that's good. It is the weekend, all right? Okay, let me take somebody else. Let's take Cassandra. I know, Cassandra, I missed you yesterday. I'm trying to, I'm trying to be fair and find different people at different times. Okay, are you ready, Cassandra? Let's see. All right. Hopefully Cassandra's ready. Oh, there she is. Okay. Thank you for the applauses and the thumbs up, by the way, for Anirban, everyone. Hi, Cassandra.
Hello, Adrian.
How are you?
I just got back home from work.
Okay. From work right into study. You are very studious, hardworking.
Thank you.
That will pay off. That will pay off. Okay.
Hopefully.
It will. It will. Eventually it will. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's do some part 3 then, and we'll be productive. Here we go. Did you have a chance to catch the last class, or at least the topic then, of speaking part 2?
Unfortunately, I didn't. I missed the class because I'm at work.
Right,
at the
that's
time.
what I thought. Yeah, so I was thinking based on what you said. No worries. Then just get into it and give me a nice full sentence answer. Do your best, and I'll give you some feedback. So let's talk a little bit more about meetings. Some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think?
I suppose I agree to that. I think there are many reasons why attendees are not interested enough to those kind of gatherings. Mainly because the first is I think the topic is not pick their interest enough while they're listening, and also maybe the speaker is boring to pick their interest while discussing those topics. And I think having a well interactive meeting is very important to people to have those kind of interactions to be more pleasant and to catch their attention. And just like last month, we had a monthly meeting in the laboratory, and it was for 2 hours, and it's so dreadful for me to listen because the speaker is so boring.
Okay, I almost interrupted you, but I stopped myself.
Okay.
All right, it was a little bit long. So it was a little bit long, and I fear that maybe half of the examiners out there would interrupt you at some point near the end. The other half might be a little bit more flexible and give you a chance to finish. You are quite fluent, and that does give you a bit of credibility to finish what you're saying, okay? But it did start to sound like your thoughts were wandering at around halfway there, and that worries the examiner. They want to just get to the next question, get through as many questions as possible to get the best idea of your speaking level as they can. So let me tell you why that happened. Okay, and this is a very important tip for communication, especially in professional academic settings. This question has an interesting kind of trap, we can call it. So the question is, some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think? No one is a special type of term. Do you know what it's called when we use this kind of language, when we say no one, everyone, never, always? These types of words have a special name. These groups of words that are 0 or 100%. There's no in between. Do you know what these are called? It starts with an S. SU. Maybe somebody in the chat's going to help you out.
Subordinate.
Nope, it's not subordinates.
I don't have an idea.
Okay, I'll give you a little bit more help. So the other types of words, I don't want to say the opposite, but kind of the opposite is like saying, for example, faster instead of fastest. So faster are relative words.
Superlatives.
That's
superlatives. Superlatives.
That's right. They're called superlatives. Superlatives. Yeah. Superlatives are absolutes. Okay. So absolutes are like everything, nothing, fastest, slowest, biggest, smallest. Generally speaking, superlatives are false. Okay, so in reality, superlatives are usually false, and we often misuse them. We often use them out of emotional charge. And not out of logic or out of reality. So like, between girlfriend and boyfriend, sometimes in arguments, one will say like, you're never on time. And it's like, well, really? Is that person like never on time? That's just horrible, right? So they're often not on time, right? Or they're rarely on time. But always, it's not right. So anytime you see a superlative in a question, in a speaking question or in the writing question in task 2, for example, that should be a red flag. So that should be like probably not, right? So here, some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. Really, no one likes to go to meetings? That would be pretty bad. Right?
Oh my God.
So and then you got yourself into a difficult situation because you said I agree to that, and it's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, no one likes to go to meetings. Yeah.
I just go with it.
Right? Yeah. And I say that, I do say you should choose a side, but you do have to be careful, right? Like sometimes it's a bit of a trap. So with superlatives, it can be a trap, and you want to be careful. So I would have started this a little bit differently. I would have started with something like this. So I somewhat agree. Agree with that because a lot of meetings can be very dry and boring, such as going to a company budget meeting, right? However, some meetings can be very exciting, such as a family meeting about the next big vacation. I talked with my family about going to Hawaii, and it was super exciting. Okay, so that's kind of the answer. So, and that comes from recognizing right away that, oh, we've got a superlative here and it doesn't really make sense, so I have to be careful with it, right? Okay. So that's a little tip, that's a little trick, and it's in everyday life too. Just be really careful with those superlatives. I think you might know that my background is in psychology, so I graduated as a psychologist, mostly developmental psych, but we did get trained on the dangers of using superlatives even in person interpersonal relationships because they lead to arguments, right? What do you mean I'm never on time? Just yesterday I was here on time, right? So,
Okay.
okay. So we want to avoid those superlatives when they're not true. Okay, so I'm going to read the question, give you the answer, and then repeat after me, okay?
Okay.
All right, so some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think? I somewhat agree with that because a lot of meetings can be very dry and boring, such as a company budget meeting. However, some meetings can be very exciting, like a family meeting about the next big vacation. I talked with my family about going to Hawaii, and it was really exciting. Some people say that no one likes to go to meetings. What do you think?
I somewhat agree with that because of a lot of meetings can be dry and boring, such as going to a company budget meeting. However, some meetings are very much exciting, such as family meeting about the next big vacation. I talked with my family about going to Hawaii, and it was super exciting.
Much better, right? Much more smooth, much more
Yes.
real, right? So
Yes.
and because you have that clarity, now you don't get kind of stuck and drifting off on ideas. And you did actually start to realize that later in your answer, right? Because at the end of your answer, you started to say, I think that it's very important to have an interesting meeting, and you started to kind of go off, but then that was
Yeah.
contradicting what you started
Yeah.
with, right? So
Yes.
that's the danger of those superlatives. So be careful with superlatives, everyone. A lot of people make that mistake, Cassandra. A lot of people,
Okay.
for sure. So
Yeah. I don't have any idea about there's something like that.
yeah, if you study clinical psychology, counseling psychology, they train you to pay attention to the use of superlatives for clients. So when like marital counseling, when marriage counseling happens, as soon as the psychologist catches the husband or the wife using superlatives every sentence, that's a red flag. They're like, okay, that's obviously a problem in their communication. So yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. So a little bit of personal advice as well. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Cassandra, for
Thank you, my God.
volunteering. Have a great rest of
Okay.
your weekend.
Okay. Have a great weekend too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, so that was Cassandra. Give Cassandra a clap, okay? Paul Cheat says, apart from House, your relationship advisor as well. Okay. All right. Let's take some more volunteers, everyone. So let's keep going here. Doing fantastic. We've got Muaz right after Cassandra. So let's see if Muaz is still with us. Okay. Try to be a little bit less chatty, maybe. Okay, Muaz, so are you ready? All right. Hopefully Muaz is still with us after all of that. All right. I know there's a little bit of lag, so Muaz might be getting my message about now. About now. No, maybe not. Okay, Muaz, well, if you're hearing me or seeing me, try again in a bit. I don't want to just call you if I'm not sure that you're there. Let's try Trang. So Trang, are you there? Just going down the list. Going down the list. Trang came after Muaz. So let's see if Trang is there. Hopefully. Again, students, make sure you do have a fairly good internet connection for this interface. Ideally a LAN or Wi-Fi. I definitely wouldn't recommend data, especially if you're going to use video. Okay, Trang.
Hello.
Hi, Trang. How are you?
Hello.
I can hear you great.
I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome. Trang, you want to maybe mute YouTube just so you're not getting
Oh.
feedback. So just
Okay.
just mute YouTube and then you won't hear us talking in the echo.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Trang. So I'm going to ask you a part 3 question about meetings, and I want you to just give me a nice full sentence answer, explanation, example. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
And here we go. So, how has the way people hold meetings changed compared to a generation before?
I think it's definitely changed a lot. Nowadays, people don't have to see each other virtually. Sorry, people don't have to see each other face to face. We can just meet each other virtually, maybe like on Skype or Zoom meeting. Um, Due to the technology and furthermore, because of the pandemic situation right now, people cannot just meet each other like we did before.
Okay, great. Not bad at all. That was I think that was like a solid 7.5. I would say going. So it's a solid 7.5 going to an 8. You have really nice pronunciation. First of all, very clear. I can understand all of your words. May I ask, where are you right now?
I'm from Vietnam.
Vietnam, okay, and it's your pronunciation is nice. A lot of times when I'm speaking with Vietnamese people, they kind of have this interesting intonation that bounces around.
Yeah.
But I can tell you've really worked hard to have a smoother, kind of clear intonation, and that's very good. That's very, very good. Okay. So your answer, you said, I think it's definitely changed a lot. So you did use present perfect, but you contracted the present perfect because the it's here is it has, right? It's not it is, it's an it has.
Oh, yeah.
And that is good. However, I would recommend in the IELTS to pronounce and enunciate both the words. So I think it has definitely changed a lot. I would really emphasize the has, at least the first time that you use it, so it makes it really clear in the examiner's head that you're using present perfect. Okay, I caught it, and if you have experienced examiners, they will catch the contractions. But if you have some examiners that are newer or that might not be as experienced, they might not catch it as well. So you want to really give it to them. Like, I think it has definitely changed a lot. Nowadays, people don't have to see each other virtually, you said, and then you realize, dude, that's
Yeah.
not what I want to say. So you went back and you fixed it. That was
Yeah,
really
and
that was really smart. Okay. I could tell that you just kind of your brain crossed wires because you're a bit nervous, and then
right.
you realized, ooh, that's not it. You don't lose marks for being nervous. The examiner can tell if you're making a mistake because you don't have the English versus you're being nervous. Okay, so you're not going to lose marks for that kind of a mistake, especially when you correct it. So that was totally fine. You said nowadays people don't have to see each other face to face. They can just meet virtually like Skype or Zoom. We actually talked about that in the last part, so you can connect there, just like my Zoom community meeting. Okay. And then you explained that, especially because of the pandemic, with your explanations, try to be a little bit clearer and a little bit more direct. This is not only because of the current pandemic, but also because it is convenient to save time and money. People do not have to travel to get to boardrooms for their meetings. Okay. And that's why I'm sure we'll see Zoom
point.
stay around for a long time, even after the pandemic, because there's no point to drive to a big room to sit there with other people for their meetings. Okay. And now you have your answer, explanation, example all in there. Okay. So when you're thinking about the explanation, think about those big parts of life that we all share, like time and money. Okay, time and money is definitely a
Right.
concept that you can use for a lot of ideas in different ways. Okay. All right, so let me read this question, give the answer, and then repeat after me. Okay.
Okay, okay.
All right, here we go. So, how has the way people hold meetings changed compared to a generation before? I think it has definitely changed a lot. Nowadays, people don't have to see each other face to face. They can just meet virtually, like Skype or Zoom, just like my Zoom community meeting. This is not only because of the current pandemic, but also because it's convenient to save time and money. People don't have to travel to boardrooms for their meetings.
Okay.
How has the way people hold meetings changed compared to a generation before?
Um, I think it has definitely changed a lot. Nowadays, people don't have to see each other face to face. They can just meet virtually, like Skype or Zoom, just like my Zoom community meeting. This is not only because of the current pandemic, but also because it is convenient to save time and money. People do not have to travel to boardrooms for their meeting.
Okay, very nice. Now, one more little trick to help you with giving a more detailed, elaborate explanation to pick up some more points for coherence and lexical resource grammar. Remember these correlative conjunctions like not only, but also. When you practice this before your exam, like saying this is not only because of the current pandemic, it will force you to kind of think of that secondary idea, but also because it saves people time and money. Like I have to travel 30 minutes to get to my office, and I can save that time with a Zoom meeting at home. So right away, it lets me kind of progress my thoughts, you see? Okay.
We can use it in like the question we have, like good or bad kind of question, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that would be my follow-up question. Is this
Yeah.
good or bad? And then you can, it's not only good, but also, yeah, you can. Exactly. Exactly. When you're
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
two sides
Thank
to the
you.
argument. Nicely done, Trang. Thank you. Keep it up. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Trang. So give Trang an applause. She was very brave to try. I think that was her first one. Okay. All right. By the way, students, I can see some of you in the chat are looking to chat with each other as well, which is great. I love seeing that because in this interface, that's the main goal of the interface on our website is to bring together IELTS students with each other. Like I think Cassandra and Trang could really do some good practice together. You have similar English levels, and I think that, you could really improve each other by practicing. So find speaking partners through the website. It's a great way to improve. Okay. All right, let me reach out to, I'm going to jump around a little bit. Let me reach out to Pooja here. Let's see if Pooja is here. Okay. Pooja says, sir, I hope you select me. Pooja, I am selecting you. Are you ready? Okay. And Heavy Driver is sending some kisses to Trang. Definitely approved of her good speaking. Pravasha says, if anybody can make a group, yeah, and Pravasha, you can even keep it simpler. Just agree on a meeting time, what time you meet up with somebody on the website, and then meet with them for 10 minutes, even just 10 minutes a day on the website with a speaking partner, everyone. Will definitely be very, very useful to improve your speaking and communication, and give each other feedback. So don't just listen, but give each other feedback, okay? All right, Pooja is ready. Here we go. Hi, Pooja. I think you picked up, but I can't hear you. I'm wondering if you have your microphone enabled on your browser. Make sure, students, that when you log into this, at the top of the screen, there will be a little pop down, and that pop down will say, would you like to allow this website to use your microphone and speakers? And then you have to click yes there, Pooja. I think that's what's going on. That's usually what's going on with the settings. Or check your audio settings on your computer. If you've enabled, yeah, that's the other point. Students, if you've enabled your microphone and speaker on the browser, make sure that you have the correct device enabled. So make sure that it's the actual device that you're using. Okay. All right, Pooja, I'm going to let you go for now. I'll reach out to somebody else, test the system, and then we'll do it again. Let's see. Okay, Muaz seems to be back. Let me see if Muaz, because I think I wasn't able to connect with Muaz. So let's see if Muaz is there. Are you still ready? Okay, let's see if Muaz is still here. Okay, so I'm looking for those little pings to see whether or not you're ready. I'm going to see if Muaz is ready. Abdul Rahman is asking, do we give discounts for mock speaking sessions? We do not. Simply, Abdul Rahman, because mock speaking sessions require a professional payment per hour to a native speaker. So discounts don't work. Otherwise, we can't offer that service. So good question. Okay, Muaz is ready. Let's reach out to Muaz. Billy, for reading tips, check out the reading videos on our YouTube channel on the website. Hi, Muaz. Can you hear me? All right. That was a long ring, Muaz. I'm not sure if what's going on your end, but it might be something with the internet connection, just based on how long it took you to pick up. Again, Muaz, make sure you check your audio devices. As you guys can tell, it does work, the system, with students who have done this. Okay. Let me reach out to Marjona. Okay, Marjona, are you ready? I know that I've done this with Marjona before, so I'm sure that Marjona has tested her system and it works fine. Okay, so she is a sure bet as long as she is still with us. Okay, and that's why it's worth hanging around, because you never know who I can connect with, who I can't connect with. Marjona says yes, always. Really? Always? Superlative. All right. Hi, Marjona.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How is your weekend so far?
Planning to do my homework, as always.
Okay, could you mute YouTube just so we're not getting so much feedback if possible?
Oh, yeah. Sure, of course. Of course.
Awesome.
No idea.
What kind of homework do you have?
Like studying and housework, girls always have housework.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Give me a nice full sentence answer, and we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right, so still part 3, but we're kind of switching our topic a little bit. Let's discuss group work. What are the advantages of working in a group?
As I can say, there is a lot of advantages. One of them, you can share your ideas with another your group mate, and you can take feedbacks from them, and you can improve your idea, which you don't have any any necessary details for your idea. So I think this is one of the best advantages to work with group mates.
Are there any disadvantages?
Disadvantages? Yeah, sure. There's always some disadvantages. Like you can debate with some your friends, and it can be really damage your how can I say? Sorry, your product planning product.
Okay. All right, so that response would get you about a band 6. And I'll tell you why. You're fluent for the most part, and a band 6 means that you're fluent. Okay, so that's basically it.
Okay.
Band 7 means that it's good response. So you're not only fluent, but you're good. I would not be allowed as the examiner to give you that mark, to say that it was a good response, because there's some vagueness to your response, so it's quite general. Okay, you're
Yeah,
not
I
really
recognize.
giving me a lot of clarity. You're not really giving me explanations. You often use this you, okay, Marjona? So you must train
yes,
yourself to avoid this you. I heard it about, I don't want to overestimate, but I heard it at least 5 times, I would say. At least 5 to 6 times. It was a you. And it does actually get bad after using it a certain amount of time, because it's like, oh, it's me, right? But it's not me.
Yeah.
So you need to replace that with people, individuals. If you can't think of the specific noun, like group members or employees, colleagues, students, then just use a more general noun like individuals or people, but still don't use you, okay?
Okay.
So you said, as I can say, there's a lot of advantages to working in a group with others. Individuals, okay, can share their ideas. Starts to sound a lot better, right?
Yeah.
So individuals can share their ideas with other group mates. Sure, group mates is okay. I think you started to overuse it a bit. And they can, right? So you start to use these better pronouns here, and they can improve their ideas. Now, when you finish this kind of a concept, like they can improve their ideas, always think about your listener, think about your audience. Like, what do you mean I can improve my ideas? What do you mean my idea isn't the best, right? So how can you clarify this for your listener about improving the ideas? Why can I improve my ideas if I'm working with somebody in a group?
That you can listen another ideas, and if you notice you have any how can I say, any replace things, any anything you should change, so they can give this advices, useful advice, and something like this.
Yeah, okay, so gather yourself, right? Collect your thoughts. Different perspectives, different experiences, right? So when we work in groups, we have the ability to see the situation from the perspective of another person, from the experience of the other person, and that can help to have better outcomes, better solutions to the topics of discussion. Now, if you're having trouble coming up with that kind of explanation, you can also switch to an example, right? Did you see part 2, class, before this one?
I am sorry, I couldn't.
Okay, that would have definitely helped you a little bit here, but that's fine. You didn't see it. That's why part 2 is so important, because when you have part 2, you can immediately go, oh yeah, what did I say about this in part 2, or what can I use from part 2? And here in part 2, we talked about the community meeting to build a new mall in the area. So we could use that, right? Like one of the attendees at the community meeting proposed having recycling at the mall, which was a great idea. Okay, so there you can link in with an example from part 2. Okay, that, so if as soon as you feel like you're stuck on the explanation and you're having difficulty coming up with clarity for the explanation, then immediately go to some type of an example to clarify the point. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Okay. I did like how you finished with the same point that you started with. So this is one of the best advantages of working in groups. Okay. Of course, product.
And I'm so sorry, I forgot my some vocabularies.
That's okay. It happens, right? So you
Yeah.
need to be prepared for that. It does happen where we get stuck and we forget some important words. Use the words that come to mind, right? So there, instead of trying to force your brain to think of the word, think about a different idea. Okay, if you're stuck for vocabulary, think of a different idea or think of a different explanation or example. Okay? That's the trick. That's the trick to get around that situation. It's if I can't do it this way, I have to do it this way, right? I have to go in another direction. Okay, let me ask you this first question again, and then I'll repeat the answer and then copy, okay?
Okay.
All right. So what are the advantages of working in a group? As I can say, there's a lot of advantages to working in a group with others. Individuals can share their ideas with other group mates and they can improve their ideas because they get different perspectives that can work better for a situation. Like one of the attendees at the community meeting proposed having recycling at the new mall, which was a great idea. This is one of the best benefits of working in groups. What are the advantages of working in a group?
As I can say, there is a lot of advantages to working in a group with others. The individuals can share their ideas with other group mates and they can improve their ideas because people get different perspectives that can work better for the situation. Like one of the attendees at the community meeting proposed having recycling at the mall, which was a great idea. This is one of the best advantages of working in a group.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. And I did paraphrase advantages with benefits because I didn't want to use the same word as at the start, just to give more lexical resource, right? So that was good. Okay. That was really good. All right, Marjona, thank you for volunteering. Don't work too hard. If you have some other family members, their brothers, sisters, get them to do the chores.
Okay.
Delegate. And have some fun as well. You deserve it. You're young. You should have fun. Okay. And thank you for volunteering.
You're very welcome.
Okay, have
Always
a great
ready.
day. Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, so that was Marjona. Thank you, Marjona. That was awesome. Okay, everyone, I am going to stop there for now, but you should not. You should not stop there. You should keep going. So we have some more questions here. Okay, here are a couple more really nice questions. In which types of situations do people often work in groups? Can you elaborate? And what are some typical roles assigned in group work? Okay, so try these questions on your own, or I should say try it with a partner on the website. Okay, try it and do your best and give each other feedback. Record the session. If you record it, make sure that you ask your partner if it's okay that you record it for study purposes. If not, then respect that, okay? But use the website, everyone. And again, the website that we're using is aehelp.com, okay? For academic IELTS, visit us there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. We've got tons of resources to help you get those high band scores, lots of videos with me and other tutors as well. And keep up the good work and have a lovely, lovely weekend. Somebody's calling me, so I'm going to hang up. Okay. There. And I will see you next week. Okay. So live classes will start up again on Wednesday. So be ready for speaking part 1 starting on Wednesday. You can follow our live class schedules on our YouTube channel. Just make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much to all of our awesome volunteers. I hope you have, again, a lovely weekend. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria on the west coast of Canada. Much love to all of you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Bye for now.